treasury broke and they say that recession jamming. So no foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talking nonsense, but the majority of we decide we're not going to run, because now is the time to show we patriotism. How we country facing is that it's our, so our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try, just a little harder. If we just give one more try, life would be much sweeter. Country analyze just what was the problem. Yes, we start making very positive moves to solve them. We fire the old session managers we had working, and it's a new group we went and we bring in. And if the goods we require, the new managers not supplying. When the election time come back wrong, is new ones we bring in. But if it's one thing about my people, I could guarantee that they would never ever put party before country. And the country facing is dark, is sour, and our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, we have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try.
And a good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it's time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 7 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock.
Life would be much sweeter.
Saying a special good night to all of you joining us locally, regionally, internationally. Those of you joining us via 91.9, 91.5 Real FM, 94.9 We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn. Also online, both radio stations are also online.
The treasury was full of happy times, some was enjoying. It's in over and laugh until poor people was living. Now the treasury flat and the country come back to square one.
And of course, those of you on social media, we say a special good night. Maxon, I see you there bright and early, my friend. Good night to you. Good night to the people of Petit Martinique. And let me see who else is in. Velma, good night to you. And Ann Joseph, Ruth Thomas, John Mark, McLean Mitchell, Peter Lewis, Lynn Joseph, Cousin Levine, good night to you. Sherms Hostin, Bev Jackson, Denise Fabio, Sunny Isle, Toya, good night, Toya. And Miranda Francique, Cindy Charles, and Jill Williams, good night to you. And Keisha Jones, Sean Gary, Charmaine Thomas, Peter Francis, my good partner. I tell you how to do something for my brother. Nice. Cindy Charles, Norman Noel, Maria Ramsey, Cicely Celestine, Yolande Mitchell Moraine, Jesse Sherry, Glennis George. Good night to all of you, Sharon Felix, and Laslyn Douglas, Donna Langdon, Kishan McSween, Red Girl Pascal, Emerson Edmond, and Nurse Wendy McGuire, Bernadette Joseph, good night, Junior George, Wallen Aquat, Mavis Thorne, Charmaine Ragbasing, Dean Joseph, all of you out there on the Facebook, whether I call your name or not, a special good night to you. Sometimes I do miss some in and between. Don't hold it against me. Wilfred Antoine, Anna Lewis, Jacinta Livingston, Shamanda Gentle, Listra Abraham, Kathleen Ledlow, Jerome Lewis, Janice Mitchell, Ann Andrews, Alban Harris, Jacinta Alves, Sandra Pascal, Christine Otley, Kathleen Knights, Miriam Samuel. I wonder if you're back, Miriam. You're still out there? Nice, okay. Jackie Raymond, Agnes Henry, Sherma Jeremiah, and Zela. Good night to you all. Faitlin Douglas, Maud Martin, Matthew Bowen, Chief Camahon. Wow. Carl Jones, good night to you. Gavin Thomas, Jenny Samuel, good night. Janet Bennett, Dominic Leroy, Good Life. Gertrude Abraham, yeah, good night to you. Sky, Gianna Marine, Vanessa Lalji, Public Notice, Anne-Marie Grant, good night. And let me see, I see Elsie Peters, Alan Jones, good night to you, and Zoe, and of course your lovely wife, Hillary Joseph, yeah, see you there, nice, good. Deborah Laborde, good night. Angie, good night. Eliza Bernard, Faithlin Douglas, Peter, yeah, there's the other Peter, nice, right. Peter, good night to you. Jakeem Williams, good day, bro. Shrajan John, and I'm seeing Cindy Thomas, Ron Julian, Brother Watts, good night to you and your lovely family. Ron Julian, Claude Abraham, Jack Kitman, good night. Phyllis Mitchell, Kim Creedland, Marilyn Panchu, I'm seeing Iceland Musk, and let me see, Iva Holas, Mayana, Julian, Marilyn Ferguson, and Dominic Antoine, Gemma Warwood, Jen, Kieran. Right, good night to all of you on the YouTube. Joyce, I know that you're listening. Antonito, good night to you, bro. Yeah, you're listening to our terrestrial. All right, nice, good. Yeah, well, you're going to give her a call when you're ready to give her a call, no, bro. Yeah. Tora St. John, good night to you. All right, yeah, so good night to everyone. All right? Yeah, good night to everyone. Hope that you all are having a fabulous night tonight. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
What was the problem? Yes, we start making very positive moves to solve them. We fire the old session.
Maxine Belfon, good night. I see you.
And it's a new group. We went and we bring in. And if the goods we require them, you managers not supplying.
What's the matter with this mouse? Gotta change that battery. Yeah, it's at that time.
Bring in. But if it's one thing about my people, I could.
Well, today we had the throne speech. We're going to discuss that in a bit. You know, I'm fine. Somebody asked me that today, and you know, it's true. Huh? How come you all not speaking about the United Nations and the speech that the Prime Minister delivered? Apparently, like, the speech was a poof. So I didn't find anybody talking about it much and that kind of thing. In fact, I listened to the Prime Minister's speech at the United Nations over the weekend. I think it was on Friday. I listened to it on Saturday. I didn't have time to go and listen to that live. So I listened to it on Saturday. And in my view, it was basically like if you take one of the speeches from Tillman Thomas and you just... yeah, that's like a Tillman Thomas speech from about 2010 or 2011 when he went to the United Nations. It's like they just take the same speech, they scratch out about 3 or 4 sections and they give this Prime Minister to read. I know, it's nothing special about that particular speech, you know, nothing to write home about. It's not like when you hear a Mia Motley or you hear an Andrew Holness or somebody go out there and talk. No. Still waiting. I was hoping that the media would ask that question in relation to the Japanese and the proposal to dump their nuclear waste in Caribbean waters. Well, you can't say, well, you couldn't find the minister and them was there. If they tell them don't talk to all, is one thing. Maybe they have intentions. So that's maybe why they don't want to talk. But as I said, I'm not going to take it for granted that this government is going to act right. Because they don't. Yeah, no matter if it is on whichever level you look at it, they don't act right. We cannot trust that they are going to do the correct thing. Yeah, which is why I've been asking that before that meeting takes place, we hear officially from the government what they are going to do when it comes to that particular issue. And for those of you that may not have heard last night's program, I'm speaking about the fact that the Japanese government has approached Caribbean governments, not just Grenada. They've approached Caribbean governments with a proposal to allow them to dump some of their nuclear waste in the Caribbean Sea. Yeah? You remember they let go some from Fukushima the other day, that nuclear plant, right? So they have some more they want to dump, and they would like to dump it in the Caribbean Sea. I don't know why they would like to dump it here, but that's what the proposal that they are putting forward before Caribbean governments. And considering the present status with this administration and some of the things that we've seen them allegedly become involved in, and some that we've definitely seen them become involved in, we cannot trust that they are going to do the right thing. As such, yeah, we have to ask them to tell us. We don't want to hear at the meeting that Grenada's position was this. We want to know before what Grenada's position is in relation to this. Yeah? Because we know, let us go and give away 22 million US to people that pay 18 million EC and then take blame. Right? We know this government does that sort of thing. So we have to be very, very certain of what it is that they're going to say and hold them accountable for what they have said that they're going to do, especially when it comes to a critical issue such as this one. We cannot afford to have nuclear waste being dumped in the Caribbean. And while we may perceive that we already know which direction our government is going to vote, and they would never even try to agree to something like that, I would think that they would have never agreed to pay a developer 22 million US when that developer paid 18 million EC and then have to come back and pay off investors and all of that. I would have never thought that. Well, you see, that's thinking with common sense. I don't expect everybody to utilize common sense at all the time, right? So I would never have expected that. But we've seen what is happening. All right? Nice. Beautiful. Folks, we're going to keep the phone lines open for the entire night tonight. I do know many of you wanted to call last night. You didn't get the opportunity to do so. So tonight, we're going to ensure that we have the phone lines open for the entire night for you. Let me just make sure everything is working properly here. You know, sometimes the thing does want to get trouble. So I'm making sure. All right, and fix it back here now. Nice. So I think it's good to go there now. Good. Nice. So, yeah, you can call 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. You can call either number, and you can also call us on WhatsApp on 440-7377. Yes, you can call us on WhatsApp using that number as well. I know some of you may have listened to the throne speech. What's your view on the throne speech? I mean, I listened to it, and basically it's the same throne speech we heard last year. It's the same thing. It basically, in my mind, solidifies, and let me come back to that. We've got a caller.
Alan.
Good night, my dear.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm fine, you know. You go right ahead.
Yes. Now, I hear in the throne speech today about oil and gas. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, I was working in Radix Ministry in the Revolution time. And we had the Russians come here, right? And there was drilling the oil, right? Whatever it is. But it come down to that we had oil here, and it was under Radix Ministry. And they said we had oil here, so they brought in the Russians and them. And the Russians and them, they, right up where they can live in now, the Prime Minister's office up there, that is where the Russians and them, they had base. Right? So I don't know how they could...
Hold on, Let me clarify. You're speaking about what year here? Roughly what year?
In the Revolution time in 1980...
That's 82, 81, 82, 83.
81,
yeah.
82.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Right? In 1982.
Yes, proceed.
The Russians was here, and I know they was working specific on that with the oil and gas here. And they had based in Radix Ministry, right? Because they said we had oil and gas here. So now I don't know how they're saying they can, Dr. And they come and they're talking now about they want to think about oil and gas. I don't know. This people and them lying so much. so much, I don't know. They're having people head hurting them. They can force their line and they can come out and in line more and more.
You're allowing your head to hurt you, my dear?
More
Don't
and
let
more.
your head- don't
because
let your
the
head hurt
Russians
you.
said we had oil here and gas here. They had base in Radix Ministry. I was working there. And they were downstairs in Jeremiah House. And they were downstairs. Right? And they was working on the oil and gas. But how they didn't continue with it is because they come and they execute Morris. They kill Morris, so the revolution done. The thing done. Thank you.
All right, my dear. And that's a very, very interesting call. Yeah. That is something that I did not know. Let me say clearly. Yeah, I thank you so very much, caller. That is something that I definitely did not know, that there had been exploration during the time of the revolution and that some Russians were here and they did find oil. Now, I did hear they talk about that. We'll get to that in a while. Let me take this call. Hello, good night.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Sheldon Scott. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine, man. You go right ahead.
All right. I listen to the budget thing today.
Well, not budget, the throne speech, but it's like a mini budget. Yeah. So
Okay, but I don't want to make no more comments on it much. Okay. Give me a little chance to express myself.
go ahead.
And you might know this place. We have a place in Grand Ride. When you reach in Grand Ride by the police station, I come out in this little road up there, this concrete road. They call Mount Plaisy.
Man,
What
tell
do
me
you
I don't
think?
know Mount Place, eh?
All right.
I used to line up
And
there.
just listen to me. The statement I heard people saying this prime minister, what was they don't do nothing. I want to tell them I grew up in that road up there, and that road was a muddy road. The whole road come down when you start to go to school in the mud. Take out with shoe when rain falling. And thank God. And that Grace Duncan, that's Grace Ingwav, will walk under the NNP and fix this road. Eggs will do some, and she did the rest. She give us road to go up to the garden. She bring water. She bring light. And even though when she was out of politics, she used to still pass around and tell the Grand Ride and the Mount Pleasant people thank very much for their vote. Even though when she was out of politics, she still passing around and said thanks. Grace Duncan was a very lovely lady, a very nice woman to the people of Grand Ride, St. John's. And she who bring that hole with the NNP all in Concord, Cotomeli. That's why NNP couldn't lose their seat around there, because Grace Duncan did a lot. After Grace Duncan did that, no other minister come and did something than Mr. Dabrio. But Grace Duncan was one of the longest representative, what do a lot in St. John's, in Mount Pleasant up there. For us, we didn't have no light, no water, no shop, no big development. And if you go up there now, you see the great development. So when people say NNP don't do nothing, I wonder what they're talking about. Under Grace Duncan, we get all the road. And she used to even bring PRA milk for us up there when we didn't have, when we parents couldn't afford. And when she was out of politics, she was still nice to us. She used to come and look for my mother. My mother passed away. And my mother, I like her and she liked my mother. She used to come up there. And a long time I don't hear about Grace Duncan, but I'm saying good luck to her. And I hope they say they'll name some of the greatest in the independence. I hope she name could come up. I hope she name could really, really come up, because she was very, very dedicated to the people of Grand Ride, Concord, Cotomeli, Brooklyn, the whole of St. John's. And after she is Mr. Dabrio. So that's my point, and that's my view tonight.
All right. Thank you so very much, my friend.
So thank you very much.
All right. Great. And yeah, man, I used to lime in Mount Pleasant, man. I know Mount Pleasant very, very well. I used to lime up there. All right. 440-7377. Now, I was pointing to the throne speech, and I was telling you all that there is a lot in the throne speech that I just repeat from last year, 500 houses. Okay, you said that. That was said in the throne speech. That was part of your campaign, everything last year. The new tool for seed, that was mentioned, that they're going to be redoing thing in seed. So to say that you have the tool, I mean, come on. You basically regurgitated most of what was said last year during the throne speech, and so last year. A lot of what was said then is what you hear being regurgitated this year. So not much new there. But what it says as well is that this government has not done anything of significance yet. They have not done. Years ago, I studied critical thinking. Yeah, critical thinking. In other words, learning how to think properly. It's a very important thing, I would advise anybody that has the opportunity to go to a class on critical thinking to take that class. And within critical thinking, there's the terminology post hoc ergo propter hoc. It's Latin. Post hoc ergo propter hoc. It means something has happened, but what has happened is not necessarily due to who is there at the point in time, but it had to happen. There were other factors. So you see something happen. So you see pension paid. It does not mean that the NDC were the ones who organized pension. It was the New National Party that was in discussions with the unions and the back and forth on this issue for many years. It was the New National Party that did all the background work and worked along, that decided that, look, we had people like former Senator Chester Humphrey that was pushing this issue, for many years. And all the parties came together to ensure that this pension issue could have been solved. In fact, it was the New National Party several years ago that made the initial pension payment. So when you see this government still having to come back in a throne speech to speak about pension payment as though they are the ones that it happened in spite of you and not because of you. Let's get that clear. It happened, it's called the post hoc fallacy. It happened in spite of you and not because of you. It is not because the NDC has formed a government that pension has been paid. It happened in spite of them. It would have been paid whether it was the New National Party, the GULP, the MBPM, no matter who had won the last election, the pension would have been paid. It may not have been paid in the same way as in to just give a lump sum of money, one go and empty the treasury, just give one group of people one set of money. You would have done it probably in stages. So you paid off some and then you gave another bit and you gave another bit. By now, the people would have definitely gotten all their money already, but it would have been done in such a way that you give some of that money, but you take some money and circulate it in the economy among people who would generate business activity, generate things happening in the economy. But instead of that, just take it and they give it to one group of people. So understand, because I keep seeing them trying to use this as some rallying cry and boast that they pay the what pension or they pay. They met the money inside there from the New National Party. The New National Party organized the money. They were in the process of setting up to pay the pensions. So it happened in spite of Deacon Mitchell and the NDC and not because of Deacon Mitchell and the NDC. So understand the terminology. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good night. Yes,
How
sir.
everything?
I'm quite fine. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, I want to make some announcement of the achievement under the NMP while in government. Right? Brother Sheldon, you have the River Road project, the bathroom and tele program. You have the Imani program within 1 year. About 6,000 Imani people were enrolled in the system. You have the youth empowerment program. You have the pipe-borne water and electrifying the rural area. You have the skills learning program for the young men. You are putting the ministry in one building, making life much easier for the people to deal with the different ministry. We have the e-learning program, Brother Sheldon. We have the construction of the cricket and the athletic stadium, the construction of the bus terminal. You have the construction of a new fish market, the construction of a vendor's market. Brother Sheldon, when you look at that, you call that achievement. Achievement, and by that achievement, that means you're empowering people. You're empowering the young people and making life much easier for the Ghanaian people. So see, NMP is a government that work. NMP is a government that talk. They talk about things and they do. It is a government that they active, and many of the things that they say in the budget, they will do it. But when you look at this government, many of the things that they promise, I don't only know, in 2008, a lot of things the NC government promised, and a quarter or quarter of it don't come into being. Because in the state government that they tax, they have good ideas, but what they have to put it into action is a problem. It is a problem because you see the government they sit down and they make things, they come with good things to fool the people. But when when you give them the opportunity to govern, they make a mess of it. And the biggest enemy of the NDC is itself. Because they want to win an election. When they win, they don't know what to do. So I think NDC, they better be in opposition. When they are opposition, they go talk and that's beside them. When they get into government, to do what they say, it becomes impossible for them to do. So there are different between NMP and NMP. NMP are government attack, a government whatever they say they do, they go do. They might do about 3/4 of the thing they have in the manifesto. They do it. When the NC, they doesn't do a quarter of the thing what they said in the manifesto that we do. So Brother Sheldon, have a blessed night.
All right, caller. All right, folks. Yes, 440-7377. I was telling you, yeah. So that pension issue did not come to the point it is right now because the NDC came in office. Time for us to just shut that down. Yeah? Because they keep using that and have people out there feeling. Because remember, the promise that they had before the last election was pension for everybody, not just public workers, pensions for everybody. So it was a case that people working in the private sector, the public sector, everybody was supposed to be receiving pensions and so on, right? It's good to say that. It's good to think about that, but the reality is different, all right? So don't let them fool you all with this thing. It happened in spite of and not because of the NDC being in office. They were there, the money was there, the payment had to be made, and therefore the payment was made. But it did not happen because of them, but in spite of them. I've also heard in the throne speech they're speaking about the 500 houses, and it raises a question in my mind. And the question in my mind is, okay, you're speaking about these 500 Grenadian-style houses. We understand, right, you want to do that. You said public-private partnership. Now that's where they start saying now, public-private partnership. So you're going to get companies that are going to come in, and they're going to build these houses and so. But what about the people that can't afford to pay? Are these going to be low-income homes? Are these going to be affordable homes? What about people who need a home but just can't afford it? What is going to be taking place with them? But we've heard this talk for the last year, and we haven't seen any 500 houses, but they said 500 Grenadian-style houses. So it has come now again in another throne speech, and probably we'll hear it next year again in the throne speech next year again. With that said, the question has to be asked, what about the Chinese houses? And let me be clear here. I'm not speaking about the houses already built. On the Republic of China, the People's Republic of China, becoming diplomatically connected with the state of Grenada, there was a promise, because it was not too long after Hurricane Ivan, there was a promise of 2,000 houses. As it stands right now, even with the completed ones, 2,000 houses have not been built yet. Are we saying, because I heard the statements made by the Prime Minister about those kind of houses and that kind of houses not suited to Grenada and all those different statements, I heard them, right? And I'm pretty sure many of you heard them as well. It leaves in my mind the question of, are the Chinese going to be allowed to continue and complete the next set of houses? Because unbeknownst to many people, there is a next set of houses. There are a next set of houses that ought to be built by the Republic of China, the People's Republic of China. I don't tend to make any difference as far as I'm concerned. It's one China anywhere. So my good friends at the embassy, don't be upset with how I'm saying it, because it's only one China, right? And I know who I'm talking about, right? Nice. So when are these houses going to be started? Because we have one set, the second set that's to be handed out now. When are we going to be seeing the third set? And I'm not speaking, let me get it clear. You had the first set that was built. That's Sobeys and what was built up there in Sobeys and in Frequente and up in Mount Gay, right? You had the second set that was built now in Carriacou, in St. David, in Beaujeu, and up there in St. Mark and St. Patrick and so on. There ought to be a third set now to bring it up to the 2,000 that was promised. In fact, on coming back into office in 2013, the rest of the houses after phase 1 had been abandoned by the NDC. They said, the same person that's sitting as advisor now in the Ministry of Youth was the one that said it, yeah, that the present ambassador that they have out there in Cuba said to cabinet, listen, tell them people give us the money and forget them houses, give us the money. And they made an agreement, but the NNP was able to come back in and negotiate and get back those houses, which is why you've seen the second set of houses, low-income houses, for many of the people out there who cannot afford a home in the normal sense, would be able to pay on a monthly basis and earn a home. So we've heard them speaking recently about getting rid of some of the people in those housing projects and that kind of thing. And they're going to write them. And so we know they could sugarcoat it. They wouldn't come out directly and say it, but they could sugarcoat it as much as they want and will still take it. At the end of the day, they want to get rid of the people in the place. They are the people they want to put in. But that said, outside of the 500 Grenadian-style houses, the state of Grenada, in agreement with China, has some more houses to get, a couple hundred more to make up the 2,000 that we ought to get. Don't tell me another NDC government is going to once again abandon houses for the Grenadian people and put instead a situation where only people in the upper middle income bracket and above will be able to own a home. But the people who are in the lower income bracket and the lower middle income bracket will not be able to own a home. Tell me it's not there we're going. So while they speak about, because I was listening for it, and I find I hear no mention of it anywhere. You don't hear the Minister of Housing mentioning this at all, that we have more houses that the Chinese are supposed to build. But we're not hearing anything about that. All right? So we need to hear, we need some clarity, we need some information in relation to that issue. The third set of houses, what is taking place, when can we look forward to seeing groundbreaking for that, and what arrangements are being made, what discussions are taking place with the Chinese in relation to those houses, because there are literally thousands of people out there who need them. Yeah? If you want to talk to the Chinese to tweak the way that they are built, or the style that they are built in, or where they are where they are located is based on the government anyway. So if you want to talk to them to tweak or deal with all of that, that's one thing. But I tend to get the feeling from this government that they are in the process of abandoning the third set of houses that we should be getting from the Chinese, and are focused instead on finding ways with some companies out there to make housing projects different place, like work with a bank and they have a set of land somewhere and they build houses there, and then you go in and you get a loan and yeah, that kind of thing. No, that seems to be, because even the set of houses to be given out now, and they're supposed to be having this week, as far as they've said, this week we expect to see the release saying that there's a press conference. Yeah, the chairman of the board of the Housing Authority of Grenada and the minister did promise that there would be a press conference this week in relation to that issue. Yeah, the houses that are there in Carriacou, Beaujeu, St. David, etc. So we expect to hear from them, because the question I would like answered is what is taking place with phase 3 of the Chinese housing project. They can't tell me I'm wrong, and they can't tell me I ain't talking the truth. I know I'm saying. All right? Nice. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. They've spoken about the new seed tool, and I was going to call Miss Leonora George and have her on tonight. You know, I wanted to speak to her tonight about one or two things. But I was kind of listening for the throne speech to hear what was being said before. And I'm glad I did that. Miss Leonora George, I know that you're listening. Not tonight, but I think we're going to talk tomorrow night once your schedule is free. We've got a call online. Good night.
Yes, good night.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I didn't listen to the throne speech today, but what I'd like to see
Caller first.
Coming up with Gateway, you almost have a one traffic. They now have been calling and asking that they should be able to cut that road and fix it all over again to come up Mango Horo. So there's kind of a one-way traffic coming up there now.
Okay, so I will mention that again. Okay, caller, thank you. Yeah, callers, when you're calling, remember to lower the volume in the background. I was barely hearing that caller. I had to push the volume right up, which would make it distorted for some of you. So we have to be careful with that. So when you're calling, just make sure you're, All right, 440-7377. So just remember, in life, some things happen in spite of and not because of who is there. Yeah? They happen in spite of that person or that organization. It doesn't happen because of that person. So they could beat their chest as much as possible and say, we pay pension. Yeah, you pay pension. It was paid in spite of you and not because of you. All right? We've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Me again, Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
The NMP government, they started to pay the pension, right? They make 2 payments of the pension before the COVID, because my sister was in it.
Yeah.
Right? Because she can cost it, them paying her pension, them paying her pension. When they released the COVID, when they released, they had released her sometime during the COVID day. Right? I and she went up to the Prime Minister's office, which was Dr. Kidd that was there. We went up to the secretary. Right? She brought with her documents. Right? The girl tell her, look, her name is in the system. She was in the 3rd batch. Right? And we asked, well, when they're going to pay it? She don't know. She said she don't know when they're going to pay it. Right? She tell her that she won't be getting a pension. She will be getting a gracias, whatever it is. But he started to pay the pension already, 2 sets already before the COVID. And the unions and them know that. Grimes and them know that. Mason and them, they know that. All of them unions, they know that. So I don't know what they're trying to play.
But this was something that was broadcast on national television, radio, the internet, everything. It's there. That
right?
The new national party
so
paid
why are
pensions.
they saying that they come in and pay pension already?
No,
the money was there to pay them.
I realize they're using that every time they go out and talk now. And it's like their go-to phrase, we paid the pension. The pension was paid in spite of and not because of them.
And when you pay not money, because every month, every month, civil servants coming up, which are those that are appointed and confirmed, that entitled to get their pension. So the government had to be careful and know what they're doing. That is why they had set up committees, right, to look into it, to see how they could come up to pay the pension. But they know that. I don't know what games they're playing, political games they're playing with them things and them. All right, children.
All right, thank you. 440-7377. I'll call all this information. 440-7377. Yeah. And, several other things in the throne speech. But one that really stood out to me, and let me say it this way. Let me take this call and then I'll see what I have to say. We've got a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Good night.
I don't want to talk about nothing tonight.
But we'll call for if you don't want to talk about nothing.
I want to say good night to Miss Kami and good night to our listener program. Good night to everybody. And Sheldon Scott, nice program. Continue.
All right, my brother.
Can't stop us.
Okay, thank you.
They cannot stop us. I don't care what people say.
Okay, brother.
Stop the NP. You keep moving forward.
All right.
You could change Grenada back again.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me say this. The throne speech is meant to outline a government's intention in that, in school you say the academic year, well, in the parliamentary year, between the opening and closure of parliament, that session of parliament, right? So if you intend to bring specific legislation, like this administration has mentioned that they're going to bring new firearm legislation, unbeknownst to them, it seems, discussions had already been taking place. I know because I'm in one of the groups that the discussions took place in between the Royal Grenada Police Force and several other entities in Grenada in relation to a reformation of the Grenada firearms laws. Yeah, the laws in relation to firearms for those who are holding legal firearms and those who may be caught with illegal firearms and ammunition. Yeah, so that the laws, there was actually a process. Remember, the police, for instance, they had already changed from treating a pellet gun. They stopped treating a pellet gun as just an air gun and not a real gun. They started treating it as a real gun. You have to go through the same process as if you apply for a full firearm, all of that. So that is the process that you have to go through now with that. And that has been in place a couple years now, and they've been going through with different things to reform. So to say that they're going to reform, it's happening in spite of you, Deacon Mitchell, and not because of you. Yes, it may be accelerated because we are seeing an increase in gun violence and murder using firearms, illegal firearms, not legal ones, illegal firearms here in Grenada. And as such, it may accelerate the pace of that legislation being reformed. Yeah? There is, for instance, a Grenada Gun and Rifle Association. They have been in discussions with the Royal Grenada Police Force for maybe about 4 to 5 years now in relation to reforming that legislation. So don't make it look like there is something special that you're so clear and you come in here and you're going and do that. The legal drafters have been working on that document for the past 3 years. So it's nothing new to come. It's happening in spite of and not because of you. Yeah? We've got a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Hi, good night, sir. How are you?
I'm all right, Mr. Scott.
Okay, you go right ahead.
Right, Mr. Scott, I was listening to the, we'll refer to it again,
the throne speech.
The throne speech this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say that the reader of the throne to the Governor General was very fluent, did a good job. And a lot of things in the throne speech, a lot of things. But a lot of it, with what is there is reoccurring, just reoccurring.
Yeah, same thing from last year.
Yeah. A lot of it is reoccurring. For instance, almost the whole of beneficial for agriculture has been there already. And we are actually ending the time because November is supposed to be bringing in the new budget. And a lot of these things have not taken place. So it means that they have to come in now in this next budget again. So we don't know what we're going to get going. For instance, they say they have $10 million, and the permanent secretary said not 1 cent will be kept back. But we ain't spent 1 cent out of it yet. And if December is the end of the old budget, it means that it have to come back again. So, but something shocked me when it was read in the throne speech, and when the Prime Minister came to speak to the press again, he said that no records can be found about Grenada's investigation for oil or the start of oil and gas in Grenada. No record. And I was more than shocked. And up to this, I'm still shocked that with all this work that was done, where we actually see and know that there was drilling oil in the Grenadian water, to tell us now that no record can be found. What could happen to the record? Will Mr. Bowen and Dr. Mitchell hide it? They go at the home with it? Something had to be wrong there. But I was a little bit feel lighter because of Dr. Mitchell answer to it to the press. But Mr. said that he taken the whole better of it, that nothing was there, no records for the oil and gas. And I'm wondering how all this time that have been spent, and let us remember that there were searches, actually searches, almost searches done with the NDC, because they was the one that went and officially marked out the boundary between Grenada and Trinidad. So if there is no work, no records here from the time with Mr. Dr. Michel, I wonder if there's records from his time. You know, and for that matter, he set up an inquiry to be managed by Mr. Nazim Buck to look into it. And I'm concerned. I'm very much concerned. I cannot understand how you could tell the nation now that there is no record, they look all about, and no ministry could give account for the oil and gas record. I mean, that have me think. But I was glad that Dr. Mitchell was able to counteract it to some extent. Hopefully that we can see documentation on it now. But Dr. Mitchell, I think, because I cannot believe that with all this work that was done, there is no record somewhere.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, my brother.
Right.
And as I said, I'll get to that one in a little while. I'll get to that one in a little while. You realize I'm going kind of point by point. So when it comes to a lot of this stuff that you hear them speaking about now, understand, I am still waiting. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll check the comments. Sorry about that, caller. Listener. Right. So I was explaining, somebody just threw me off for a second there, but thank you for the information though, my friend. Yeah. Things are happening in spite of, and I'm still waiting to see what is the NDC agenda, because what you're still seeing here is the afterglow of the new National Party time in office. Yeah, so you're still waiting to see something that you could point to. Outside of victimization, sending people home, don't want to pay the faith workers, that sort of thing, one by one, drip, fire in them Imani. Outside of that, want to see something that is really a construct of the NDC. Yeah? Something that is actually a construct of them that's positive, that's taking place there right now. You're still waiting to see something that's actually, yes, somebody mentioned, they're fixing road. And yes, roads are always fixed. Your patch roads, rainfall, it damages the roads in the tropics, yeah? And that is why what the new National Party was doing was in negotiation for a new road project similar to what was done a decade or so ago when you had the reformation of the entire, nearly 2 decades, when you had that road done, like coming through Springs and going up the eastern side, and then you had the West Coast Road redone and that sort of thing, right? So an entire project like that is what was being discussed, and financing was being sourced and so on to get something like that done. When you do that, then you don't have the patching on the main road, at least not for a long while. You don't have the patching to do. So that is what was taking place when it came to that particular one. All right? Now, the last caller, Clifford, mentioned the oil and gas issue. Let me say straight up, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, you're lying. You're lying. It's clear. You are lying. And let me tell you all why he's lying. One, I am pretty sure that they have not contacted any of the former ministers or anybody to ask questions about that, to say that they're looking and they can't find. Secondly, in all of these things, most of these files are electronic and are on the government system. Yeah? It's not like boxes are documents and things that you take and you go with. They're trying to do like if there's a kind of Trump situation, because what they want to be able to do is to board by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. And you all know what the plan is. They want to go by Dr. Mitchell to search and say that he have papers there and documents there that they want. So they want to send a set of police to go and search there, or to go by Brother Bowen and search there. Or if I were to come and say, quote a document and they say they don't have that document to come and search by me. So that's the plan. To search different ministers' place and say, well, okay, we come to see if all you had documents in relation to that and come and take documents. Similar to what you see was done to former President Trump and other former people and things in the administrations, that they say take documents and go. But I'm telling you, these documents, usually a document within the government service, it's in duplicate. You don't have no one copy of a document. You have duplicate. All right? So your permanent secretary, the people who are directly involved are easily found. They're not gone to the great beyond. They're right here in Grenada. They're easy to find. And I'm not speaking about the government ministers here. I'm speaking about the civil servants, many of whom are still in the government service, can be easily found to get whatever documentation exists on this issue. In addition to that, yeah, if you're using, as most ministers use for government business, you use your .gov.gd email address. So you use your email address, they send emails, you receive, you send and you receive emails and so. As of the 24th of June, those email addresses belong to the government of Grenada, you know. So don't expect that Mr. Gregory Bowen could have accessed that or Dr. Mitchell could have accessed that and so on. Those email addresses, they are on the government servers, they belong to the government. Any documents that were emailed and sent to the minister in relation to that, they could easily check there and they could find the documents. So you, Mr. Deacon Mitchell, need to ask some questions and stop being untruthful. Straight up, you lie. Yeah? But you see, when it comes to something, they could find. So they could find that it have, that NNP get money. That NNP get money, they could find that NNP get money. But when you ask them for the document that they say is in cabinet to present it to the Grenadian people, they're dancing around like a bunch of wild Indian dancing around a teepee and a fire in a powwow. Yeah, they can't come out with that, they can't find it. Yeah? So some things they could find, some things they can't find. Yeah? But all of a sudden now, they can't find any documentation. That doesn't strike you all as wrong. And then GBN. GBN, you all need to speak to whoever the reporter that did that news story tonight is. That reporter did not understand the issue they reported on. Yeah? I can't remember which one of the reporters it is, but they did not understand what they reported on. The statement that the Governor General was forced to make, yeah, I'll come back to that one, and that the Prime Minister watch everybody and lie on, the statement was that they could not find the documents in relation to Grenada's oil exploration. They never said, neither Mr. Deacon Mitchell nor the Governor General, that they couldn't find any proof that there was oil in Grenadian waters. Deacon Mitchell did not say that. Nor did the Governor General. And your story is erroneous and has political implications. Yeah? So you need to retract and correct. The story that was put out by GBN, so that's giving a lot of people the impression now that Dr. Mitchell said it's oil and there's no oil there. That is not what Deacon Mitchell said. He said that they cannot find the documentation in relation to it. There would have been seismic studies. Yeah? You'd have to do seismic studies. You have to do soil testing. They had to test the quality of what was found in the well and that sort of thing. They had to do all of that. What he is saying is that they can't find these things. I mean, even in news, you had things about when Trinidad, the arrangement with Trinidad and GPG and all these things. And they did say that they're meeting with GPG tomorrow. So I hope that that helps bring some clarity to the entire issue as well. But to say that you can't find it, Mr. Prime Minister, come on, really and truly, yeah. Don't stop lying to the Grenadian people. We know the tactic, you know, yeah. You want the excuse to be able to go into opposition members' homes and business places and so on and offices. You want the excuse to be able to go there to say you're going and search for documents because documents missing. We know that's the plan. We know that's the strategy. But you ain't stupid enough to fall for it. We letting the people know early that's your plan. Yeah? That's the strategy. You want to go and dig up, Gregory Bowen house? Yeah, right, yeah. Try and lie. The files are digital. Have you all asked Mr. Gregory Bowen for any assistance in relation to that? Because it seems as though the belief is that he go with files. That he gone with documents and he had documents and so on. All you do are documents. Come on. Seriously. Yeah, so we understand what the strategy is. We understand what the tactic is. So don't try that one, right? Nice. 440-7377. We've got a caller online. Good night.
Sheldon, good night, and good night to the Grenadian people. Good night.
Yami.
Home and abroad. Patty, Matthew, Mr. Watts, Zingo, Ian in Canada, and all my friends in Grenada. Carco, P.D. Martin. Sheldon, Dicky Mitchell wants you to work with him, you know. That man would love to have you to work with him.
Never gonna happen. I cannot be bought. Never gonna happen.
Sheldon, you're explaining to what happened on GBN, and that man is listening you right now, and he's telling himself, this is the guy I should have. This is the guy I should have. You understand? And just as how the lady in the that you're calling out for to talk the lady that was in the seat program that could remember everything about the old people that didn't they should get on the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to have
just
her
like
on.
that they have this is civil servant that know in Grenada about this oil and gas, whatever it is. There is working people that citizens, civil servants, they know. I don't understand why you are worrying about what NNP do in this country. Grenadians know, Mr. Scott. Grenadians know the work under the NNP government. So a little hotter worry your head when NDC minister said they do nothing Grenada. Grenadians know. Don't press behind that what they say. Let us say they want what they have to say. Grenadians that living here and Grenadians that living abroad know the work NNP did in this country. They can't fool me, they can't fool other people. Not even the young people. There is young people that know the hard work under NNP in this country. They cannot fool the people, Mr. Scott. A little waste of your time about that. We need them know. So a little stress and celebrity. They know. Every child and little boy and little girl that living with their parents know under NNP they get childish. So you are not to tell you about that. We as Grenadians just hypocrite and bad mind and ungrateful. No apology. We are ungrateful. A lot of us in this country, we have a conscience. We're very ungrateful as a people. That is why a lot of us is suffering today. Because of the ungratefulness. Even said we don't like it, Michelle. There's a lot of people in this country that glad and they lose the election because they don't like it, Michelle. If you ask anyone, what have we done to you? They can't tell you. They can't tell you. I have vendor over the years, and for the longest time I see people suffering. Suffering. We as vendors suffering. All you have to stop that and your conscience have to beat all you. And all you want me little money for me, bring it. Bring me money for me, please. All you want me little dollar and owe me for me little things. Bring me money for me, so I do bad mind. Have a good night, Grenada.
All right, Gabby. 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Yeah, and so I'm telling you all, when it comes to this particular issue, to say that you can't find the information is not being truthful. Yeah? Let me say it again, but then we expect there's a tendency to do these sort of things, you know. So yeah, I just think they will always get away with it. We have a call online. Good night.
Pleasant night. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm quite fine.
I only call us all and they see blind, they can't see. So even though they're looking for paper, they can't see it. Because all of them blind. From the head come down blind. Are they going to sleep?
My goodness.
Mm-hmm. Because if they say the ex-prime minister ain't do nothing, that is sitting there blind, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they're trying to give the impression. That's the thing.
They're blind, none of them can see. I know they can see.
Yeah, they're trying to get the impression that we just you leave office and you just take all your boxes of documents and you're gone with it. That's not how you operate. Listen, every document that you have, you're given as a minister and so, you have copies in the registry, you have the copies, the permanent secretary would have a copy and different thing. There's a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Energy. There's a registry for the Ministry of Energy. I mean, come on. They even have access to the emails of every former minister. They have full access. They control the servers. So they can't say that they don't have. They're just looking for an excuse. Because they want to brace people out. So they're looking for the excuse.
They can't see.
Right,
and not noticing the NNP ain't doing nothing. And all those that coming outside, when they come and they see Grenada, oh, I'm so surprised I didn't know Grenada was that way. I didn't know and they still say they ain't do nothing. That mean the whole INDC blind. All of them blind. Good night.
All right, my brother. And the meeting with GPG, yeah? You come and make a statement, you can't find nothing, and you're now meeting with GPG? You didn't meet with them before? You didn't ask them for anything? You didn't say, well, okay, what documents you all have, we can't find, so could you all give us a copy of your documents or anything? You didn't ask anything? But before all of that, you're meeting with them tomorrow, you know? But today, you come making statements, and poor the Governor General, poor Dame Cecile La Grenade, poor her, to have this done to her. Because, listen, when you do the throne speech, you lay out what your government is going to do over the next parliamentary year. From the opening of Parliament till Parliament is prorogued, right? Till Parliament goes on basically recess. So you lay out what your legislative agenda is and what your government will be doing in various areas. It's like a mini budget presentation without going into the details, right? So it's more broad-based. You do not use that opportunity to make your head of state make statements like what she was forced to make today. Like, my government hasn't been able. That is thing for the Prime Minister to come and say, if you want to stand up in cabinet and say that, or you want to stand up on some press conference and say that, you say that. You do not disrespect your head of state like that. Because you had her making a statement which was untrue on your behalf with political implications when she is a person who needs to be held above the politics here in Grenada. Everything people had to teach all you saw. So you go and you have the Governor General. I felt it for her. Because she is above that. That's a statement for you to go and make. That's a statement for you to go and make as Prime Minister. Just like what you do on the press conference afterwards, go and do it there. But you don't make the Governor General make those kind of statements. And I know what is being done, you know, because remember I told you all, new Governor General, I know what discussions were taking place, you know. New Governor General, the same way you're having all them PSs going to different ministries. Yes. I hear in Bagwan going down in health. I hear in Desiree Stephen going back in youth. I hear in all kind of thing, you know. All I feel I don't know. So you all PSs enjoy your new portfolios as of Monday. Yes, I'm all you kind of done checking the office out today and all kind of thing. I know. Yeah, the PSs, the permanent secretaries for different ministries, as I told you all, they are being shifted around. And so I know Ms. Stephens has been sent over to youth and sport, and Ms. Bagwan is going to health. And there are one or two other moves. I don't have my list with me here, but one or two others that are moving to different ministries. And so congratulations, or congratulations, I could say that is from one ministry to another. It's not really, I mean, it's still a PS. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, so 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Lie, lie, and more lie. That's all you're hearing from these people. Lie, lie, and listen. There was something put out by MP Andy Williams speaking about, the lack of implementation and all kind of thing, that the NNP got how much $1 million in 2017 to do the project on the fort that's taking place on Fort George right now. So he admitted that the NNP got the money, right, to do that project, and that the NNP did nothing between Andy Williams, you lie. You lie. I'm telling you straight, you lie. You, Andy Williams, you lie. What I mean did nothing? I could go so far as to tell you, Honorable Dr. Clarice Modest, if you're hearing me, give me a call on this issue, please. Yeah? Because I'll go so far, and let me just take this call. Hello, good night, caller. Hello. Hi, good night.
Calling people name like this, you want to sue.
I don't mind, man. Sue me.
Do your homework before you talk garbage like this. How much
I'm gonna take the sue, man. I don't mind. I'm taking the sue. Sue me. Anything I say that is untrue, sue. You know the man run? Anything that I say, this is recorded and it ain't coming off the website, it's there. Alright? Anything that I've said that is not true, sue. Yeah? Right. So I was telling you all that he was referring to 2017 and saying nothing was done. Listen. When you get these, let me just clear the line. When you get that sort of funding, you have to do your groundwork first. You don't just go and start leveling a building because you're getting money. You have to do your different, you go and you look over the building. You draw your plans of what you want to achieve. Yeah. You do your testing of the structure and so on. Your architectural drawings. Then you have to get your, different people involved. Let's just see who's on the line. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hello.
Hi, good night, caller. How are you? You're live. Go right ahead.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go right ahead. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
No, you're live. You called. Go right ahead.
Right. Tell me something. You listen to me. Good afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me good. Grenada is keep me chilled. This is my question.
Has anybody said that here tonight?
Listen to me.
Did anybody even make reference to Dr. Mitchell except of the fact? No, I'm not listening to that, if that's the question you're asking, because it's nonsensical. I'm not a hypocrite, I'm just straightforward.
No,
and I think you need to be on another program. Call it. Yeah, 4407377. No, I think you need to be on another program. That has not been said here, and you would not twist away from what we're talking about. Now, you had to have the people that did the different work on that structure before you got to that point. Yeah? Now, 2017, 2018 was election. You had the people that were doing their work. That would be 2018, 2019. 2020, you had COVID. And you still had these people, I believe from France that were doing their work on the fort. In other words, they were putting together what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, what materials need to be used to get it done, and what the structure should look like at the end. Yeah, so they say nothing was done. You must go through that before you could get to the point where you start doing what you're doing now. You must get to that point. Yeah? So to come and give the impression that nothing was done, especially idiotically, nonsensically, and foolishly, trying to believe that none of us know that you had COVID in the year 2020, 2021, even going into 2022. So that not much, you didn't have any major construction and that kind of thing taking place during that time. You had COVID taking place during that time. We have a call online.
Sheldon, I call back to just tell you something.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're a public servant and you're appointed with government, they could transfer you to any place to work. So Ms. Bhagwan and them, they don't have no problem.
I tell you why,
yeah. Secretary, they could move them and send them in Karakum. They could send them anyway. As long as you're a public servant and appointed with the Public Service Commission, they could shuffle you and send you anywhere to work. So, wish them all the best.
But that's what I did. I did wish them all the best in their new endeavors.
Some people, they're in the Ministry of Health for years and they don't want to move. But you gain more experience when you work in different ministries as a secretary. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You get more experience when you move to different ministries. So I don't think they will get harassed with that. You understand? So that's good.
All right, my dear.
And yes, have a good night.
All right, thanks. And yes, Amisha, I do agree. Being a lawyer, yeah, he is lying. Lying comes, well, not all lawyers just lie. Some lawyers. I know some lawyers. I have some good friends who is lawyers. But in his case, Deacon Mitchell, you're lying. Yeah, sue me. You're lying. Right? And any of them that believe that what I'm saying here, they could sue in relation to, I live in Frequented. That's my address. You have the phone number here. You can think, or you could just send it to, what's the PO box? I'll tell you the PO box before the end of the program. Or bailiff, all them bailiff know where to find me because I'm always in town. All right? So they know where to find me. All right? They know if they stand up around by Cammy long enough, I must pop up sooner or later. Right? So yeah. So this nonsense that Andy Williams keep repeating about lack of implementation, man, hush your mouth with that stupidness. What lack of implementation? What could you implement in 2020? You're a business person. People couldn't even enter into your business place normally without a mask and all this sort of thing in 2020 because we had the COVID virus worldwide. Yeah? That was 2020, 2021 into 2022 when you had the measures repealed in late 2022. You had the COVID measures repealed. So what sort of implementation you could get when you had this thing going on? Definitely, if you're looking at implementation over a 5-year period and you have to include those 3 years, what do you expect your figure? All you feel people stupid here? What do you expect your figures to look like for implementation if you couldn't do anything much outside of your groundwork? When I say your groundwork, your book and paper work, your digital work. That's all you could have done in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Yet still, let me just make sure the box is clear. Yeah, yet still, you try to give the impression that lack of implementation under the NNP and you getting so much thing done. My foot. Get what done? What lack of implementation? What lack of implementation? It's the same nonsense you all went on with when you end up losing the money from England. Because the English government, they understood that, yes, you had COVID, so there are certain things that could not have been done during that period of time. But you all went and started to talk about like NNP just ain't doing thing. So then people, they will give all your money when they get a chance to get away with not giving it. No, we've got a caller online. Good night. Hello, good night, caller. Yes, go right ahead. Yes, you're live. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, caller.
Go ahead. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I almost telling people about the oil, the rig and them, the oil. You have to damn like good night.
Mm-hmm. And let me see. Since you want to be famous, 418-4875. Yeah, so all you go know. Crew, all you know what to do. 418-4875. Don't call this program and try all your nonsense. All you got, all your programs to go and call and do all your thing. So when all you call here and try to disrespect us, I'm going to put all your numbers out. The truth hurting. Yeah, the truth is hurting. You're telling me the day before you speak to the people who would have what you need, you come and say that you don't have it and try to blame other people for it? Come on, man. Nah, I will teach you a lesson today. 418-4875. That's the idiot that called. Nice. And folks, 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on the inside. So we're hearing now that COP is taking place, the COP meeting, yeah, that is taking place out there in Dubai. I did hear they say they're heading up with a delegation. I hope no boyfriend end up on the delegation this time, eh? Yeah, he ain't about all kind of 40,000 US. Jesus, anyway. But then, Papa, it is what it is. But we're hearing that Dubai delegation, we want to know because with the UN delegation, realized the Prime Minister went up there and he go with the secretary and we need to carry a secretary and all this kind of thing. Press secretary, this one, that one, all kind of thing end up there in the United Nations with the Prime Minister. to do a speech that was a nothing speech, basically. I don't understand why they're doing all this nonsense. So you're going to Dubai, make sure that the delegation you carry, who you need to carry, and not who you want to carry. Let me just say it like that, right? The delegation that going to COP in Dubai, because a lot of people want to go in Dubai. Nice, you understand? Yeah, nice expensive thing, and yeah, they want to get them kind of trip and thing. Nice. Just make sure that on that particular occasion, when you are going to Dubai, that you go to Dubai with who you need to go with and not who you want to go with. We want to be clear on that, all right? Nice. Perfect. We've got a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Yes, my love.
Yes. Sheldon, it have a form, advance and an impress, right? When any government ministers traveling or whosoever it is between the government, right, they have to come back with their bills, the receipts, if they sleep in a hotel, if they buy food, whatever it is they do, they have to come back with every piece of paper to surrender. That because that is the state money. So I hope they know that they have to come back with every piece of paper to surrender. Right? Maybe some of them, they don't know that. They don't know that. But I work with government, so I know because I used to go to the treasury and handle it and do it. So so I hope they know that they're traveling and come back with every piece of paper to do the adding up, the accounts, the votes clerk in that department, and the permanent secretary also have to see that get done. Thank you, Sheldon.
And before you go, a lot of that system is digital now, so it's even easier. And let me say this as well. Since you spend time in the public service, is what I'm saying a lie? Isn't it a case where you always have documents in duplicate? So you have the copy that's at the registry, you have the copy that would be sent to a minister or whatever, the permanent secretary may have a copy of the document. Isn't that the way that the government service operates?
Right. What they do, they have the copies in the registry and filing cabinet, which they put it in the filing cabinet. That is what I know.
And nowadays you have it digital, so you have the digital copies of it. Oh,
right.
boy.
So I work with digital system. I work with registry
Analog,
and putting files in filing cabinet.
Okay, my dear. Thank you so very much for your call. All right, great, thanks. 440-7377, that is the number for you to call and get on the inside. Yeah, no, you have to expose these things. And you realize when you start to expose it, they start to get sort of antsy. Yes, they get sort of antsy. Right? I think we have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon Scott.
Boss man.
You think it's not me trying to get you? I just can't get you.
What
you going in, boy?
You finally got through, my friend.
I finally get you, boy. Every time I call you, every night I call you, now you're responding. I don't know what's going on with you on phone, man.
I'm not sure what happened there, but you've got through tonight, yeah.
Good night.
Yes, sir.
Same man here. Duncan.
Yeah, man.
I hear man call and talk and say that should be about how Dr. Mitchell and them lie about the gas. What they could lie about the gas when Deacon is saying yes, he have gas? Well, Deacon lie then.
There is none so blind as he who will not see. None so deaf as he who will not hear.
What is the man on them? They realize they can't perform. They do they know it. People see what they're doing now. You're exposed to them now that they can't run the country. So people come up with all kind of excuse. The first they say the economy around the world. And things are getting tough, so that's the cost of living going up. Dr. Mitchell was there, and it's a cushion effect for us. It's a whole long thing for us. Because he realized that poor people, they have needs. And he care about poor people. I hear a man tell me today, Dr. Mitchell never care about nobody. Dr. Mitchell always care about poor people because he used to put people first. That is why he put the $150 there to help the poor people. That is why he helped people to put water in their home to help them so they could survive. They could water to bathe and drink. That's why we had bathroom and toilet. So when they come and they talk this kind of nonsense, I just get vexed. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nothing to say about. Deacon said that in a meeting. He said that there is oil and gas. So how you saying Dr. Mitchell lie? Man, go and get yourself together. And get yourself together and know what you're talking about. Have a good night, brother.
All right, you stay blessed,
and
bro.
Keep up the good program, man. That's what's born in them. They can't take these issues. They can't take what is shoot. Shoot us hot, you know.
Man, I'm not even bothered. I will not be sidetracked by illiterate folks who do not know how to hold an intelligent conversation.
Watch me. They come in and me walk and they give me fire and swallow letting go bed. When I let go information too, you know, tell me, well, where you getting information? Where you get that? I say, don't worry. We have people walking undercover.
Bro,
just as all you have people walking undercover.
If they gain your fire, cook food with it.
Well, yeah, but that's all I'm doing here. And I cook, and breakfast don't know. And the amount of long I make to help people and things. We do a lot of cooking and things to help people. But don't worry, God is good. We're going to get back on track.
All right,
this time is near. Just one time they get in. They go in just now. Even my big man in the party tell me they go in just now. They're already to see they get all this money there and then they just bad spend the money. I want to come and talk about how, and I hear they say about them alone not pay pension. I say, shut your mouth to that rum shop. That's rum shop talk. Talk to me till the first man not pay pension in Grenada. Easy for us. Nobody else. Then they can maybe come and get money, meet money there. And I like this, I like what you just say. He come and meet the idea there. And he follow the idea and he go with it. Mm-hmm. But the plan was already there.
Of course.
Yeah, brother. Have a good night.
Same to you. Bye-bye. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. No, you cannot allow individuals to distract you. I've been involved in this way too long for anybody to think that they could get under my skin and get me off track. Yes, the information will come out. Yeah, and it is coming out. All right? Yeah, so folks, 440-7377. I'm giving you the opportunity to call and get on to the inside. And let me just tell you all, I may cut the program slightly earlier than normal tonight. Due to a circumstance way beyond my control, I may have to cut slightly earlier, maybe about a little 5-10 minutes early tonight. We've got a call online. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Okay, that's your third caller, so that's the last one. Go right ahead.
During after the revolution, when Dr. Signature was communication work, we got road. We didn't have water. Water come after we start, when the NDC come in 2008, they gave us water, and the road continue under Dr. Signature when they returned 2013, and most of the project we done between La Femme and Orchard Beaton is between after 84, leading up. So why they're saying that the government before did nothing? We did not have electricity in La Femme. Dr. Mitchell gave us electricity. A lot of we St. David people is too ungrateful.
Okay, my brother.
You.
All right. 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and guess. Remember, you can also call us on WhatsApp. Yes. I don't think I've taken a WhatsApp call for the night thus far. Let me just make sure. Yeah, and it seems as though I have missed at least one. So, caller who called on the WhatsApp, you feel free to call back. All right. 440-7377. And let's just take this call. Hello, good night. Hello.
We want to pay the $20,000+ that you use in phone bill and taxpayer money. Talk about that.
So, my friend, don't leave. Hello. Hello. Caller. Oh, he's gone. No, I wanted to engage you, my friend. I don't like the fact that you've gone. I wanted to engage you in a conversation. And I will give you the opportunity to call back before the end of tonight's program, yeah? I would like you to dispute anything that we have said on this program tonight. Dispute anything. So we have said that the throne speech is basically a repetition of last year's throne speech. We'll give you the opportunity. I'll make a few minutes available for you to dispute that. If you have the intellect, if you have the intelligence to be able to do that, I'll give you the time to be able to do that. And I don't think I'll put your number out. I'll spare you on that one. Now, I'll also give you the opportunity to dispute what I've said about the Chinese houses and what I've said about the 500 Grenadian style houses. We'll give you the opportunity, give you a minute or two to be able to expound on that and say that what we've said here is not true. Yeah? We'll also give you the opportunity to dispute anything we've said in relation to what was claimed by the Prime Minister in relation to the issue of oil and gas. We'll give you the opportunity to dispute anything that we've said. We've got a call online. Good night.
Shalom.
Yes, sir.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, night to you as well.
That program real hot in the heart by.
I think we need to go on 2 more radio stations.
Tonight is a night where he dig in the guts. He real dig in the bitch and them guts. That's good for all you. All you think Deacon go stay there. Deacon, Grenada is not Deacon also. Deacon have to leave it and go. All you can do, Dr. Mitchell, nothing. Dr. Mitchell standing up like an iron in front of you. And you go see what he go do in coming soon. Deacon flying like an airboat just now, you go see. I'm telling all you too wicked, all of these NDC people and them, all you too unjust. All you lying. It's time for all you to stop lying. All you coming with another thing again to fool the Grenadian people about oil and gas, and they can't find documents. But stop lying now. Go and rest all yourself now. Search for the dash document and do what all you have to do now, man. Stop lying. Sheldon, don't worry, this lunatic and them. The program start to dig the guts. I like dig the guts. They take it in all your phone quest. That's it for all you.
All right, my brother. You have a good night. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. The opportunity is yours. Anything that we have said that you can prove is untrue, you have the opportunity to call us. And here are the 3 opportunities you have to call and embarrass us. Make us know that what we have said thus far for tonight, the points that we have made on Talking Points, you can dispute them. You can call us directly, 440-7377. You can also use that same number and call us up via WhatsApp. It is a WhatsApp number, so you can save it and you can call us via WhatsApp. You can also call us on the overseas line if you are in North America and you realize that the stomach hurting you and you can't take on listening to this guy. You can call us 347-329-3101. I will warn you, be respectful or you will suffer the consequences. We've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my dear. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I just get real vexy.
Don't get vexed. Don't let your blood pressure go up.
I don't make my pressure go up.
All right.
Why they don't face the facts? Why they bringing up past tense?
Don't even worry about them and that. We're dealing with this. Let her answer this.
Because first to begin, they talk about no document for island gas. Tillman and them, when they went down Trinidad, he and Ali Gill and them and say they go and survey Bongi for island, they give Trinidad the well and whatever, one of whom two well. So these documents are them not there too?
Well, remember,
what they do with the document? So why they want to go and say Dr. Kit have it or boy they have it in the house. So it disappear.
Well, in my belief, that is the intention, because the intention is they want to be able to go and say, well, okay, it's in this person's house, that person's house, and
go.
go.
Was speaking today, and he said they lie. Dickson say he could stand up to him, so that means he go deal with him. Yeah, he could stand up to him that he don't have no documents. He had document. He must have documents there. So you expect the document go just fly about like bird. So where he go and look for it? Who he ask for it?
And specifically, which documents are he referring to?
He don't have no document for island gas. That is what he said, and that's what the throne speech said.
That is absolutely not
true. That's why
true.
they make a lady with a she happy satis you drying she. I don't know if she crying to lie what to lie they make her what they write and make her lie to say.
I feel empathy towards our Governor General that she was dragged into the political realm. Your Governor General should never be dragged into the political realm. By putting that statement within her speech, that is what was done to her.
And the lady
It's
speaking,
unfortunate
and
it's unfair.
trembling because everything, they make everything political, and there's people lying because Dickno said he have oil, you know. He said that all he up. He said, and how he come now, if he have oil, where the document gone, who he asked for the document and he don't get it. He know where to go. He never been in government, he don't know nothing, and he know where to find it. Anyhow, have a good night you here because with this Coroto, they come to the track people from the bubble, they go and they will give back them people their money and still have the passport.
Oh no, they think we've forgotten and we've left that issue alone and it's only through speech. No, I just didn't talk about it tonight.
The issue
I'll be
one
back
by
on
one
that.
as how they come into it, why they jumping as cricket.
And I challenge any of them. I would challenge Mr. Henry Joseph. I would tell him, sue me if he was not the chartered accountant who was doing the accounts on behalf of the company that he sat on the board to give back the money.
Must he full up he mind? Must he full up he drum so
I'm calling names.
Here in the air from the plane flying? Have a good night, you Dudu.
All right, beloved. In case that happened to them, they could chew chewing gum and go mop the ears and them kind of thing. You understand? We papa. Let me take a call here. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night, caller. You're alive.
Shalom, I want to just ask a simple question, right?
You can go right ahead, my friend.
I watch the news tonight and they say he have no paper with the oil and gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
If, as Kit Mitchell said in Tempe, right, and he said how they find one well and he have 7 more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, if now they say they have no paper showing with the oil and gas, and for the time he said they had found oil, nothing happened. We don't hear nothing again after that. Everything gone. So I just would like to, and you say, and I was listening to your program when you said that Dickens said he have oil. So I would like you to just play the clip for me.
Did I say he said that it have oil? I said that he never said it didn't have oil.
Okay, so I would like you to play that clip for me, please.
I don't have that at hand to just play that clip. You could go back and listen to what he said during the press conference today. He never said, I could tell you what he did not say. He did not say that there's no oil. He said they could not find the documentation. That was clear.
Right.
That is what he said.
What I'm saying is, but listen, that's the same thing I said, but what I'm saying is, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there is no documentation concerning...
That's what he's claiming.
Right.
But it's not true.
Listen this, right? And when you're handing over, when a new party coming in, and you're handing over a ministry, all the documents are supposed to be there, and you're supposed to see everything?
All the documents are there.
But if he's saying it's not there, the Governor General saying it's not there, so you're saying that...
The Governor General is just reading a speech that the Prime Minister wrote and handed to her. It's not her speech.
So, sorry, my wife was saying that. So if he is not seen, known in his ministry, if he's not seen the document, what do you think happened?
He's lying. I don't believe that he's not seeing any documents. I believe he's lying. Understanding how government service works, and I can tell you from every position from right down, they are lying. And you're going to meet with, for instance, you're meeting with the company tomorrow. You're going to meet with Global Petroleum tomorrow. But yet still you come out today saying that, oh, you don't have documents and you don't have information. How could you have information when you're meeting? So in other words, they've been in office since the 23rd of June. They've had enough opportunity to meet with these people. If the issue was important to them, they have had enough opportunity to meet with these individuals.
You really believe that all governments blatantly lie to the people like that?
No. But this one is. Of that I am certain. I can tell you, I can use several inferences, several situations and circumstances where they have lied, and we've been exposing that here.
Okay, so
for instance, even just last week, the impression that was being given by the same Prime Minister and the Attorney General is that only 22 million US was being paid to True Blue Development, and that's the end of this arbitration case and so on. That is not true. You're speaking at least 56 million US outside of that you have to pay to the investors. So there is misdirection and lies that are coming from this administration. Well, how many times you're going to have one more question to ask, my brother?
Okay, so
but go ahead.
So you're saying the former Prime Minister, right?
Mm-hmm.
All what he said about the oil and gas was true.
Yes. And it's provable. It's factual and it's provable.
Okay.
Yeah? It can be proved. The facts are there and it can be proved.
Okay, Mr. Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You have a good night.
Thank you. Yeah. Everything that he said can be proved. He was speaking the truth and is right now still speaking the truth. Everything he said can be proved. But they didn't even meet with the people. Yeah? The company that was doing the exploration. From all indications, this is going to be the first meeting between government and them tomorrow and so, right? You didn't meet with them before. You didn't interact with them before. Even if you find you're not seeing a document within your system, you say, well, okay, these people have been dealing with this, so they may have a copy of that document. Let's reach out to them. Was that done? And then specifically, what documentation are they referring to? None of that. But anyway, let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Mr. Scott.
Caraco!
How are you?
I'm quite fine. Hey, I need some farine when you get a chance. Nice.
Hey, you better do that, you know.
Confess coming up, Confess coming up. So, you know.
Whenever you come up, you know you're welcome.
Yes, my dear.
Hey, Mr. Scott, I was just thinking, if there was no oil, why did Mr. Tillman Thomas go down to Trinidad and give away Block 21? Answer me that, please. I would like to know. Okay? Have a good night.
Your guess is as good as mine, my dear. All right. Yeah, because there was that thing when they went down to Trinidad. And you know what? I'm going to pull the video. Somebody sent one of the videos, but with the time I have, I would not be able to pull it and bring it over to the other screen for you to be able to see and hear at the same time. I could pull it, you'd see, but you wouldn't be able to hear how I have the system hooked up tonight. So I'll get that in place so that before the ending, either tomorrow night or on Thursday night, we'll be able to pull that for you to see what the caller is referring to with that trip down Mr. Nazim Burke. Yeah, the same Nazim Burke, incidentally, who is now going to be leading the committee that's investigating the circumstances surrounding oil and gas and what is taking place and so on. Yeah? So GBN, you all need to get your story correct. Neither the Governor General, in reading the Prime Minister's speech, or the Prime Minister himself in his interview said that Grenada has no oil and gas. That statement was not made. Yeah? They did not say that there's no oil and gas. They asked for the documentation in relation to that particular issue. But they did not say that there's no oil and gas. Let's get it straight. All right? Let me just make sure the phone box is clear. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. And of course, you can call us as well on the WhatsApp, 440-7377. Yes, it is. I know it's a landline number, but it's also a WhatsApp number. You can call us on the WhatsApp number as well, or you could message us, as quite a few people are doing right now. Yes, indeed. Special good night to each of you on the WhatsApp, sending your messages and so on. As I said, I may be ending a bit early tonight, so you have roughly about 5 more minutes. Again, about 5 more minutes to call. You have 5 more minutes so that you can call. Yeah? So, yeah, I see one person is mentioning, they said the GG was, no, it's not the GG. The Governor General, let me explain something about the throne speech to you all. The Governor General does not write the throne speech. She does not sit or have anybody sit within the Governor General's office and write the throne speech for her. The Governor General presents the throne speech but does not write the throne speech. I can use myself as an example. Years ago, when I was attached to the Ministry of Youth as the public relation officer, from time to time, I would be asked by the permanent secretary to put together some different, some paragraphs in relation to youth. Yeah, put together some paragraphs in relation to youth that the Ministry of Youth would then include in the throne speech. So I would put that together. I would bounce it off the minister, who at the time was the Honorable Emlyn Pear. Would bounce it over, say, well, okay, change this, add this in, and that sort of thing. And then Ministry of Youth presents their section for the throne speech. Each ministry would do something similar. They would have their technocrats, the different people that put together what is the main aim that they're looking at within this cycle. Yeah, and it's generally along with the budgetary cycle as well. What are going to be the main areas that you're focused on and so on, and what you're seeking to achieve within that next 365 or so days. So that is put together. Then when that speech is put together, then it's sent to the Governor General. I just want to make it clear, because it is not a speech written by the Governor General. Your throne speech is a representation. When she says my government, she says my government because it is a government that answers to basically the Governor General. The Governor General is who swears in everybody from Prime Minister down. She's the head of state. But the head of government, in case you realize, he goes and he hands her the speech. He didn't hand her her speech. He handed her his speech. Yeah? So there's the ceremony where you see the Prime Minister go and he hands the throne speech to the Governor General, who then proceeds to read the throne speech. Right? So understand, because I see somebody saying something about Governor General was disrespectful. No. The Governor General was disrespected today, but was not disrespectful. She was disrespected. All right? Nice. I just wanted to make that absolutely clear to those of you who may not have known and think that the Governor General writes a speech and goes and no. It is written. It comes, all different ministries, departments put together the information. It's collated either through the press secretariat or whatever, and or the Prime Minister's office. They put it together and it is presented to the Governor General. So it's a representation of all the different things going on in various ministries. And to have her making certain statements today, it was disrespectful to her. All right? That's my personal belief. We have a caller. Good night.
Dylan.
Yes, ma'am.
Be very careful going home tonight, eh?
I ain't afraid nobody, man. I'm going home normal.
I know you don't afraid nobody, but I'm just telling you. Don't make your head hard. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay, my dear.
You know you have a lot of haters outside.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So I'm just telling you, be careful. Keep your eyes open and be careful.
I'm keeping all four.
That is all, John. All right. Miss Madison, good night.
All right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
In case anything, I know to call, man. I call Ghostbusters. 440-737. You can't stop a praying man. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the inside. If you are not yet subscribed to our YouTube page, you need to do so tonight. Then you need to call 10 people between tonight and tomorrow night and tell them, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, and get Talking Points, right? Get to the Talking Points page with Sheldon and make sure and subscribe and follow and like. You need, each one of you listening tonight needs to get to 10 people between tonight and tomorrow night. Tell them. You could take your device and show them. You could send them the link, right? People who are not listening and viewing yet, send it to them. Get them to subscribe to the YouTube page. Get them to follow the Facebook page and also to click the subscribe button, right? Make sure they click the bell icon next to it too so they can get messages every time we go live. All right? Yes, indeed. And folks, quickly running out of time. Someone is saying here, the oil and gas is a distraction from the Kawana Bay fiasco. Yes, it is an attempt at a distraction. It's an attempt at a distraction, but they will not distract us. As I said a little earlier, yeah, they will think that this is going to keep us off or that they're going to try to call and throw us off and that sort of thing from the discussion. No. Yeah? There's a lot to be said about the Kawana Bay. There's a lot to be said about what has taken place and what will be taking place there. There's a lot to say about the different figures involved in coming to that decision to give the company 22 million US and now have to find 56 million US at least to come and share to investors. Well, they could try to pay them less, you know, and then them and the courts go have it out. So we will hear how that one turn out. But there's a lot to be said in relation to this issue. And we will not be distracted by any red herrings or anything that they throw at us. Yeah? Just remember that when we're speaking about the issue when it comes to pension and these things, they happen in spite of Deacon Mitchell and the NDC and not because of Deacon Mitchell and the NDC. In life, listen, and I'll end with this story. Every morning, the rooster go and he stand up and he make a noise, cocky doodly do. Yeah, he go and he make it. That's what my local son does say, cocky doodly do. Right? Go and he stands up and he do that and then the sun rise. So he think every morning he doing that. That is the reason that the sun rising. So one morning, the rooster didn't wake on time. But by the time he get up, he see the sun up in the sky. So then he realized that the sun was rising in spite of him and not because of him. Yeah? And these people who are in government now need to stop behaving as the rooster. Right? Things happening in spite of and not because of you. Right? And many of us out here know that and will continue to expose it. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. As I said, I have to leave it here for tonight. There are quite a few other things that I need to speak about. Yeah? Why everybody afraid for me and messaging me so I tell me be careful? Oh, don't worry, I'm good. Right, folks? That's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. As usual, love each and every one of you. Remember, if you're not registered, get registered. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. If you're not active yet in the constituency, get active in the constituency. And in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you unconditionally. I'm Sheldon Scott. We'll be back tomorrow night with more Talking Points for you. We're going to end with this one.
So no foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talking nonsense, but the majority of we decide we're not going to run. Because now is the time to show me patriotism.